Next, we have a interesting five-level competitive decision. The first decision to make was Steve's on Michaels or no Michaels. So Steve, can you take us through your thinking on when you would bid Michaels here versus just overcalling a spade?
Well, it's vulnerability dependent on, if I'm red against white, I certainly want to have a decent hand. I know that one popular theory on Michaels is that you either want to have a weak hand or a very strong hand and not have the hand in the middle. I am not a proponent of that philosophy. I feel like if you have a Michaels hand, you're supposed to Michaels and, hope from cooperation with partner, you're going to work out what to do later, and you should get your two suits in because it's very important. One big disadvantage of Michaels is that your minor is unknown, and many players play known suits. I don't play that, but I'm tempted to switch to it because it makes such a huge difference for partner which minor you have on many, many hands. But I'm not, as I said before, I'm not a proponent of intermediate hands don't bid Michaels. So I just do it if it looks like a Michaels.
Other hands that would
especially
be too weak.
especially when you're a vol against not. I mean, it's totally it's a totally different range. Like you would never bid two Michaels with a bad hand vol against not. It's like this is, among the worst hands. Not the worst, but you always want two really good suits when you overcall vol against not, because you're only making the bid to try to get the game or compete, not as a sacrifice bid. So whether or not you play mini maxi Michaels when you're vol against not, you have to adjust your ranges.
Okay. So then, Gavin, you had the next couple of decisions, it looks like, on this hand. The first to bid four spades, and then the second decision whether to compete over five hearts with five spades. Can you take us through your thinking and ultimately how you came up with the decision?
Well, sure. I mean, I bid four spades because I had five card support and thought we could make it. And when it went five hearts and Weinstein didn't double, I mean, not that he's going to double very often, but it just seemed like my king of clubs was onside, or I have the king of clubs in my partner's second suit. So like I thought five hearts rated to be also two suited, and I knew that my partner, didn't have a pure defensive hand. That's all I'm saying. So if he's got the spades and diamonds, then we have a double fit, and my king of clubs is on side, and they're almost surely going to make it. And if he's got spades and clubs, then I still think we can make it because I have the king of clubs, and we're vol against not, and he's Michaels, and I have the ace king of spades, so he's probably got 6-5 or queen jack 10 fifth, sif, too little, ace queen jack fifth. And still, it just seemed very much like the worst case. We were one down. They're not going to be able to double us very often because I have enough high card points. And I thought there was just too good of a chance that we both could be making if my partner was 6-5.
Or if spades were 3-0 on this hand, they would be making five hearts, and you'd be making five spades, unless they found the double dummy lead.
Okay. Speaking of double dummy lead, do we think that East should have found the double dummy lead? For those of you out there who might not see it, the double dummy lead here would be a low heart to the queen with a club through. What do we think about Donna maybe finding that or not finding that?
I think that's like a disadvantage of Gibb in looking at all the hands. I think that Donna made the most automatic lead. I mean, she has great prospects for beating it. The partner could have a diamond trick, a trump trick, the king of clubs, and the idea of losing the opening lead to the queen when you're not even sure what you want done, it'd be something that would not. I don't think it would enter my mind, but if it did, I would discard it really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you could just have three top tricks and be giving it away.
Okay, good. So let's go ahead and just walk through the play here.
Would that change for you if you had ace queen of clubs instead of the ace jack of clubs?
Yeah, if I had the ace queen of clubs, I think it's a lot more in the game.
Because you can see the outcome of the action.
Right, you can see the beat with Declare having the king of clubs.
It's not a trifecta of partner having the queen of hearts and the queen of clubs and the king of clubs being on side.
Right.
Exactly.
It's a good point, Kevin.
Okay, that's like that. Okay, so defender starts with a heart, sees the two of diamonds, cashes the ace of clubs, and then we have a claim when the second club holds. Okay, anything else on this hand that we want to go over?
Not from our table.
Okay, so at the other table, we had a similar start. Only, Jason, you chose not to push to 5 hearts over 4 spades. Can you tell us your thinking, what you might change before you would bid? What do you think?
And perhaps I should have bid with what I had. I was thinking I had quite a bit of defense, and I wasn't sure that they were making or how cheap our save was going to be. You know what? I didn't know what their second suit was either. If Declare has clubs, then I think we have a good chance of beating them, and we're probably going for a number ourselves. If I had a spade void, I'd certainly bid, or a 6 heart, or even, I don't know, or 5-5. But perhaps I certainly wouldn't fault anybody who bid with the hand I had. I was very tempted to.
Okay, it looks pretty close to me also. Any other opinions on this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely close. I would probably lean to bid because there's 2 ways to win. They make you go down few, they bid red against white, and they might 3 ways to bid, and they might bid on and go down, and your concentration looks like they have spades and diamonds. So I think it's close, but I think I would bid.
Yeah, I think I would bid for sure. But it to me, the biggest thing is it just looks like they're making. Never mind, like whatever downside you have. I mean, I would definitely put my money on them making when all my points are in hearts. Partner didn't cube it, you know.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go through the defense. So you started with a high heart, and your partner played the 2. So tell us about the 2 of hearts and how strong a signal is that? I mean, you play suit preference with a singleton and dummy, or what's the...
Right, yeah, suit preference, and I thought it was indicating a high club on her. I guess, obviously, by my next play of leading a low club, I didn't think it would indicate the queen, but since if I had ace king of clubs, I'm probably just banging that down. But I guess maybe he does need to show me suit preference if I have the king and only the king of clubs. So I would have thought it might be slightly not quite as strong of a signal. Since from my perspective, I don't know if he has 4 or 5 hearts, but it's, you know.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation because there's a lot. It is, you know, like a suit preference / attitude, and from the perspective that West is signaling, nobody knows Declare has a 5-card spade suit. So if Declare has 5 spades, you know, West might want the tap, might want a club shift, and the message that he's giving is really either a middle heart is tap or a low heart is to play a club. And the deuce of hearts certainly does look like the king of clubs, but he wants to make sure his partner plays a club from the king also. But it probably is a little bit too strong of a signal.
Yeah. I mean, it's. Yeah, I didn't think I would be able to get in to push a club through, so I didn't anticipate the underlead of the ace as a problem. I didn't realize that from Jason's point of view, I could have like king and 1.
Yeah, I mean, from your perspective, you know you're not beating it unless your partner is beating it.
Right.
So I can see why you wouldn't even really care that much about what card you play. You're just like, okay, I have the queen of clubs, play a club. Look, you could never cost the contract by telling your partner to play a club. That's just not possible because the contract's just you know gonna make from your perspective, right? So
yeah, that is. Yeah.
But yeah, I can see why you might not want to give a strong club signal for these random the over trick situation, but you can't really fault playing a card in a spot where you're just like, okay, how could it be wrong to play a club? It can only be wrong by a trick.
Yeah, I mean, and Jason was hoping you had king and a club and the king of spades, so that's why he underled
Yeah, right.
Totally.
That's
Yeah, exactly.
completely legit holding.
Completely legit on the other side too.
Okay, well, it's nice when the mistakes only cost 1M. Let's just go ahead and
Yeah, that's for
then
sure.
we're going to have a very quick claim after this. And declare now claims 12 tricks, I believe, right? Losing 1 heart trick. Okay, or 1M for the challengers. Anything else on this hand before we move on?
There was no way to stop that from happening, right? Because you were defending 4, you were always gonna, like, it wasn't like you would bang down the ace of clubs as the other option. That could never be right against
Yeah, not against 4.
So it wasn't even like you could save that imp under any circumstances.
Right.
Right. Right. So in fact, you probably don't even have to look at your partner's heart card. You just have to lead a low club, and the partner has to have those cards or not.
Well, no, his heart card could really matter. You don't know that whether partner's got 4 spades or not. If your partner plays plays a middle heart, like if you see the 6 of hearts or something, you're definitely going to continue hearts.
Right.
That's it's
Okay. Right.
I mean, yeah, that's I mean, the reason why I didn't bid right away, because if partner has 4 spades here, he could have some trump tricks.
Yeah, for sure. It's entirely possible partner has 4 spades. It's not, I would say, yeah, it's not as, it's definitely not clear to bid 5. I just feel like they're making. You're right that you could have, partner could have 4 trumps, and like you said, like I'm saying more just on looking at my honors. Just the thing that you need to have happen is like literally partner having 4 trumps, or I mean and partner would not really bid 4 hearts with like 4 trumps and 2 trump tricks. That was where I was. I definitely it's possible, but
Depends on who your partner is. I play with some partners who do that and just licking their chops ready to double.
It's hard because they're positioned badly, and it's almost never going to go 4 spades for them. So making that bid in that spot, like what we're discussing is bidding 4 hearts over 2 hearts. When they have 4 spades in a crappy hand, and it's not going to go 4 spades over 4 hearts very, very often. So there's not upside to the to that action. In reality, when you have 4 hearts or 4 spades and 3 hearts, you're probably just going to bid 3 hearts and be done with it. It's hard to imagine that partners actually bid 4 hearts with that hand. But you would still defend that way. If partner told you to continue hearts by playing a middle spot in hearts under the ace in suit preference, you would still defend as if they have 4 spades. But I wouldn't anticipate them making that call.